fail. It's gonna snap.
Oh, there goes the clock. That was a fail. What's up, guys, and welcome back. I am going to be building this rough terrain crane, or as I like to call it, Big Red, because it is big and it is red. So this was a second-hand purchase from the land of the eBay. It was a relatively good price. I can't remember the exact price, but the one thing you'll notice is the parts came in carry bags, and in the bag one was parts 1, 2 and 3. So I tried to make them in some form of order so that I didn't spend most of my time finding different bits. I'm going to be showing the build process through a bit of a time lapse, but I'm also, at the end of the video, we're going to be taking a look at it and testing out some of the functions. As you've seen in the beginning of the video, some of it went not too great, but we will get to that towards the end. We are now just building the lower gearbox that operates the feet and the rotation of the upper section. Then build the front and the rear axle, and they are colour coordinated to make it a little bit easier when you're trying to distinguish which is the front and which is the back. The front and the rear axle, the orange and the green one, we attach them and then we start building the feet. We have to do this process twice. I only show it once because it is exactly the same process, and then they just clip in. From there it was on to the laborious task of sorting out the next carry bag, which consisted of I believe 4, 5 and 6 components.
She could tear us apart when she kissed your lips.
I don't know if it's just me or if Technic don't have many of these engines anymore, but this was really fun to build. I love the fact that it has the working pistons. It's sort of nostalgic. It brings back my childhood. I haven't built one of these in ages, but it was super fun. Now we're building the upper assembly rotation mechanism, and in the 2 storage components and the 2 gear levers either side, which operate the legs and also the rotation of the top. If you haven't gathered already, the clock is not a timer, it is the actual time, so it's 8:11, 8:12 in the evening, and basically now it is 1 in the afternoon. So yeah, it just varies depending on when I had the opportunity to do any work on this project.
Back in that bag again. Whoa, whoa, yeah. Hey. Back in that, yeah. Tell them to watch it. Now I ain't talking my pockets, just know we ain't running out the way that we stock it. If I got it, you got it. If I call it, she sliding, tell her to mop it. Yeah, I got that shit doing. Then she took that thing off and bring it around. Going at it till I'm on. Put that 90 in a hole, I'm beating it down. I'm back in that bag again. Whoa. Oh, say less. I'm back in that bag again. Yeah. Oh, say less. I'm back in that. Yeah. What you doing? Yeah. I'm back in that. Hey, where you going? Hey, back in that bag again. Don't bring me around your friends. You know that I'm bagging them. Request me on Facebook, no, I ain't adding them. Positions I had her in. Hit from the back, that pussy was splattering. Calling her friend, tell her pull up. Word, let's make it a gathering. They loving that baby, nah, I'm addict now, but she loving the splash again. I just be cashing in her buns, just like a wedding, I'm crashing in. Hundreds on hundreds, I'm moving and grooving. She wanna cut up, I'ma slash again. Buckets on buckets, I'm switching edition. Back in my bag, going back again.
I feel like Aladdin, yeah. I'm on the carpet, flying through orbits, ain't doing no talking. Wow.
We finally did it, guys. It is complete and I am super excited. I love this. It was a great project to make. It took me approximately 8 hours spread over numerous different evenings to complete this, and it was just a fun build overall. It wasn't too repetitive. So let's take a look at some of the functions. I believe there to be 12 gears on this if you count both the forwards and the backwards. So you've got 1 and 2, and then you slide it across. You've got 3, 4, 5, 6. You've got another 2 there, 7, 8, 9 and 10, and on the rear in the same position 11 and 12, and that operates all the different functions. On the back we have the power pack, which we can just turn on by sliding it across. It has been restricted, so you can't put it in reverse, and then you can use this lever to operate between the lower functions to do the arms and the rotation, and the top, which does all the crane movement stuff. For the leg support blocks, I added an extra brick in them. I wanted them to be a little bit thicker, and I wanted that so that it actually fully lifts it off of the ground. You can see there it should have been just 2 plates, whereas it's now 2 plates and a brick. So that actually does now get the wheels just off of the ground. So a quick rundown of the features before we get started. It's got the 4 legs, 2 on the front, 2 on the rear, and as I say, they're able to lift it off the ground and give it a little bit of extra support. It's got the main boom arm, which can go down and it can go up. And then from there we can extend this to make it longer as well, and then we've got the pulley system that will do the lifting mechanism up and down. Also has a load of other extra features. It has the door that opens, you've got the whole top which can rotate freely when it is not in the gear position, so when it's in neutral it can rotate freely. Obviously it can be motorized as well, as we already discussed. There's the door that opens and closes, and then it's got a few other little trinkets, bits and pieces. It's got the little light on the cab, it's got the mirrors, it's got, the steps. It's also got storage for some tools, and in the dashboard it's got a nice little sticker look, giving it some nice detail. Like I said during the build, one of my favourite things is the engine. I love the fact that the pistons move. It's just super cool, and it's also got the fan as well. So that's a really fun feature that they've added into this build. Finally, it has the 4-wheel steering to allow it to turn in a sharper circle. So let's have a play about with some features. So we'll start by taking a look at the feet. In order to do that, I'm just going to rotate this. We're going to turn on the power. We're going to turn that one into the left position, which operates the down stuff. And as I say, now we can rotate it if we want to. But what we'll do is we'll turn the one on the other side. That should now start lifting the feet up. As you can see, it is quite slow. This is in 1 times speed. Let's put it into 2 times speed. So that's them fully retracted. So we can take the blocks, place them roughly where I think they need to go. We can adjust them in a moment. So now we can use the gear on the back, which is in the exact same location as this one, just on the opposite side. And we can now flick that and start bringing down the legs. So I'm going to just try and position these roughly where I think. Didn't quite get that one in the right position. That's one thing I've noticed with it. Let me know in the comments if you've got this and you've noticed the same thing. But when it gets under a bit of tension, this top tends to spin. So that's the safety mechanism, the clutch if you like, kicking in because it is at full lift. And then that now has just raised them just enough to be able to move the wheels without them touching. So that's that function. As we've just seen, we've got this function on 1 times speed. And we'll flick it back the opposite way and on 2 times speed. Just for clarification, when I say 2 times speed, obviously it's done through editing. It's, there's not a function on this that makes it twice as quick. If there was, that would be pretty cool. I would like to change the gear ratio on it to make it a bit faster. Well, as I say, it's not the end of the world. So now we can flick the top lever there into the to the right, which is now operating these other functions. So we can see that if I try and operate the bottom, it's doing nothing. So on the left,
here we have a sliding gear stick here. So the left one here will raise and lower the arm. I know it's not fully in shot. I'll move the camera in a second, but you can see that is lifting the arm up there. Right, so what I'm going to do is, because it's difficult for me to get this in shot, it is so big and my lens is not wide enough, unfortunately. I'm going to lower the arm down slightly. So we'll pop that there. That's bringing that down. So that gives us a slightly better shot there. And now we're going to move it to the centre position. I'm going to flick that up, and as you can see, we're now extending that. Something to be mindful of, when it does extend this, you will notice it is using up the rope, so therefore this will get snagged if you don't have enough rope out. I'll show you what I mean by that. So I'm just going to bring it in for the second, take it in. The reason I'm bringing it back in is again because I can't get it all in shot. So we'll bring it in to approximately there, and now what we're going to do, get it the right way, we're going to wind the lifting mechanism in to a point so it's quite close. So we'll go about there. So you see there's only a small gap now between them two, and now we're extending that, and as you can see it's getting closer and closer and closer, and now it's snagging. That's it now. It's you can just about see that. You can see the camera arm. Unfortunately I'm not getting on too well with the camera shots, but still you can see it's gone very tight now, hence why it's better to keep a little bit of slack. So we can lower that down, and once that's lowered down we can then lift it to full height and full extension, which we'll do that now on ×2 speed. So I'm going to bring this camera right the way back and stood on Lego, obviously. There we go. Look at it. That's insane. That is the height. That is maximum lift and maximum extension, and it is just huge. I mean, if anyone's got any of these drawers, you'll be able to see, you know, how high they are off of the tabletop, and that is how high it goes. So I'm just going to lower down the rope, and we're going to put something on it. I don't know what, it'll have to be Lego. We'll hook something on and we'll see what it can lift. Right, so I've attached the Lego bus 60154 to it with a couple of little chains. Just take a little look at that. So you can see I've just hooked them on. The roof is removable, so you know it might just pull the roof off, but let's give it a test. Let's see what happens. Let's just take it back out a little bit. Right, let's turn it on and see what it does. Here we go. It's taking up the tension. You can see it's trying. Oh, it pulled the roof off. I think it can lift that. I think we're going to try that again. Let's reset. Right, so we'll reset. This time I'm going to hold the camera. I've put the chain underneath on both sides. Let's flick it up. It's taking up the strain. You can see it's taking up the strain. Is it going to do it? Oh my goodness. It's doing it. It's done it. We've got a floating bus. A little bit of bend in the arm, but I mean, you know, it's a full stretch. I shouldn't really be lifting it at full stretch. It doesn't need to be, but why not? Right, let's put it back down. Let's see if we can lift something a little bit bigger. Why not? I don't think this is going to end well. Right, let's reset and find something else. Right, this is a stupid one in my opinion, but let's give it a go. So I've added on the Mold King compressor. I have got a video of that, I'll link it above, building it, and well, not really building it, but playing about with it. It's really cool. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that. So, let's flick it on. Let's lift it up. I cannot see this ending well at all. Oh no, oh no. It's gonna snap. Oh my goodness. That made me jump. There goes the clock. It's gonna snap. Okay, so I'm not sure that's how it's supposed to look. Yeah. Right, I'm going to call that one a fail. I really don't want to have to rebuild this thing. We'll just slide that back there. It was a stupid one, but I ain't going to give up with it. What we're going to do is we're going to, what's the word? Lower. We're going to lower that in to a point. I reckon about there. Right, I've just got to sort the rope out. I think. Is it all right? No, it's all right. It's all right. Okay, here goes. Take two. Take two. It's bending. It's pulling it in. Oh, it's pulled the compressor apart. It's bending. Oh my goodness. No, it's done it. It's off the ground. Oh wow. It's only going to done it. I cannot believe that. This is stupid. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. It's done it. That has got some weight to it. I'm not going to push it any further, as I really don't want to ruin it. But there you go. So if you're just wondering how strong it is, and you have one of these Mold King compressors kicking about, which has got the batteries in and everything. So, you know, there's 6 batteries in there. It works. Well, that's it, guys. I think I'm just going to call it a day of that. I hope you enjoyed the video and hope you found it of some use. And yeah, please consider leaving a like and maybe subscribing. I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.